I drew a very simple, almost like a paper doll or stick man, but with arrows pointing to the general parts of the body where those muscle groups are. I expect most of you to be much better than me because I am a terrible artist. And then some notes on that as well. For history, I posted it a little bit late this morning, so you might not have seen it earlier this morning, but you have a review to complete over the exploration of North America. You are certainly welcome to keep your notes open and look in your notes for those answers, okay? You can look in your notes, find the answers, and then tomorrow I'll go over it with you all. It might be good for you to try to answer some of the questions off the top of your head first. Use the process of elimination. It's mainly multiple choice questions. So think through which of those would not make sense at all. Okay, and then we'll have a test on Friday over exploration of North America. Next week, we'll start our new unit, which is our last history unit on the 13 colonies. That's what we'll spend a big chunk of time on. Yes, Alexander?
I wanted to show you something. So yesterday, I don't know if it was yesterday, my grandma did it, but I got it yesterday. It's from McDonald's, and my grandma just asked, what are you going to do with it? And they just gave it to her.
Oh, well, that's exciting. Hopefully you get some time to play with it after class today.
Yeah.
Because all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. You need to have some time for playing with Pokemon. Okay, boys and girls, let's say the Pledge of Allegiance and school motto and then get started on our work for today. Ariansh, would you like to lead us in the pledge?
I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And you can say the honor code as well. Honor. I will honor those things which are good, true, and beautiful. Respect. I will show respect to others at all times. Service. I will do good things for others without being asked. Excellence. I will strive for excellence in all things. Perseverance. I will fulfill commitments and not give up or act on discouragement. Would you all join me for a moment of silence, please? Okay, boys and girls, well, let's start on. We're going to do no phonograms today, just jumping right into some spelling words. So take out your whiteboard and we're going to do some spelling review. Starting with the word persist. Persist. Pretty straightforward. Persist. Marcus, how are you doing today?
I just took my weekly shower.
Oh, like Almanzo. You just took that this morning? Does that make you feel a little bit more awake when you take it? Because I always feel more awake after a morning shower. Yes, Josiah? Everyone, please write persist.
I take a shower every day.
Oh, okay, nice. Me too. Although, yeah, everyone has a slightly different way of doing it. Persist means kind of like persevere. Just keep working. After you're done with persist, please write persistence. 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 We've got a lot of nouns with either ence or ance suffix. This one is persistence. Arshab, do you have your whiteboard ready? All right. Also, by the way, Arshab, did you watch the video of yesterday's class? It was on YouTube, but I forgot to email your mom it yet. I wasn't sure if you just went straight to the YouTube page. Did you get a chance to watch it yet? Not yet? Okay, you'll be able to today. Do you want me to email you the link, or can you go straight to the YouTube page?
I'll just go straight to the YouTube page.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks. Okay, boys and girls, next word is privilege. Privilege is the way we think to spell this. Like it's a privilege to sit in the front seat, maybe. Privilege. Privilege. Should look like this. Privilege. Okay, next up. Tranquil. Please write tranquil, which means to be very calm. Almanzo's house was anything but tranquil when his parents were gone. Tranquil. Look like this. After that, let's do two words that come from it. Tranquility and tranquilize. Tranquility and tranquilize. Tranquility and tranquilize. Good morning, Sahanasri. Hey, sweetie, we're finishing up our spelling review, but that is actually, we just did our last words. So we're about to do a new spelling lesson now. You can take your binder out. How are you doing today? Good. Okay, boys and girls, that's all the spelling review for today. We've got a bunch of little things on the agenda for later with literacy. So we're trying to, or I'm wanting to get started on our spelling lesson a little faster than usual. Okay, so you can take out your binder at this point. Binder's out. One of your assignments for today is to go over the new poem, The Hayloft by Robert Louis Stevenson with me. I've got a video for you to watch. As we're transitioning, can you all say it with me? I'll present over to the poem itself. The Hayloft by Robert Louis Stevenson. Through all the pleasant meadowside, the grass grew shoulder high, till the shining scythes went far and wide and cut it down to dry. Those green and sweetly smelling crops, they led the wagons home, and they piled them here in mountain tops for mountaineers to roam. Here is Mount Clear, Mount Rusty Nail, Mount Eagle, and Mount High. The mice that in these mountains dwell no happier are than I. Oh, what a joy to clamber there! Oh, what a place for play! With the sweet, the dim, the dusty air, the happy hills of hay. The Hayloft by Robert Louis Stevenson. Let's practice just the first stanza only a little bit more before we start our new spelling lesson. Okay, think of, in this stanza, it's all about cutting down the grass, waiting for it to dry. Let's say, through all the pleasant meadowside, can you say that with me? Through all the pleasant meadowside, the grass grew shoulder high. Let's say just those two lines. Through all the pleasant meadowside, the grass grew shoulder high. Alina, would you say it for us?
Through all the pleasant meadowside, the grass grew shoulder high.
Very good. Next part, till the shining sides went far and wide. Can you say that with me? Till the shining scythes went far and wide. A scythe is a farm tool to cut that down. So through all the pleasant meadowside, the grass grew shoulder high, till the shining scythes went far and wide, and cut it down to dry. Through all the pleasant meadowside, the grass grew shoulder high, till the shining sides went far and wide, and cut it down to dry. Who thinks they can say the whole first stanza? Okay, Kruthi, can you say it for us?
Through all the pleasant meadowside, the grass grew shoulder high, till the shining sides went far.
Good.
Sides went far and wide, and cut it down to dry.
Great job, Kruthi. Okay, let's have Alexander do it next, and then we'll start our new spelling words. I'm going to go off of the screen, so you've got to try to do it from memory. I'll help you if you get stuck, though.
Through all
Pleasant.
the pleasant hay. Hold on.
Meadowside.
Sides. And
What's happening? The grass grew, how tall?
and wide.
The grass grew shoulder high.
Shoulder high, not tall and high.
Oh, I think you're thinking of the next line. Till the shining sides went
Tall and wide?
far and wide.
Far and wide, not tall and wide.
And they cut it down to
Fury sides?
dry.
Too dry.
Mhm.
So I need to
Okay,
practice.
well, can you say it with me? Through all the pleasant meadowside, the grass grew shoulder high, till the shining sides went far and wide, and cut it down to dry. It's okay, we'll keep practicing it more and more. Okay, boys and girls, time for our new spelling lesson. We are going to be looking at our first word that comes from a word from yesterday, acquaint.
Acquaint.
Right? Remember that the word acquaint means to become familiar with. That's okay, Alexander. Like, oh, I need you, or I'd like you to get acquainted with your neighbor, which means get to know them, get friendly with them. Now, a person who you become acquainted with is an acquaintance. It's not exactly a friend. It's like somebody you know, but they're not maybe a good friend. Acquaintance. Okay, we're just going to add the noun suffix ants. You know how we have the ants and ants noun suffixes? This is ants. So sound it out with me. Acquaint ants. Let's say that again. Acquaint ants. 3 syllables. That first syllable, ac, we think to spell a silent C there. So ac is ac, basic code. Next is quaint. Who remembers what makes the A sound? Acquaintance. Anybody remember what phonogram makes that A sound? Samhita?
A, 2-letter A that we do not use at the end of English words.
Perfect. Well done. Oh, that's what Tig is doing. His Liza Jane over there. Okay, let's put that down so you can focus on the word, though. So in the last syllable is ants. Ants. 3 sounds. The s is k. Saying its second sound when followed by an E. Please pick up your pencil and write acquaintance. We think to spell acquaint ants. Yes, Tig, did you have something to share with Eliza Jane?
No, it's not that. I was wondering if this was a new word or if it was just review.
This is a new word.
Okay.
We did acquaint yesterday. This is acquaintance, turning it from a verb to a noun. Okay. Hold it up when you're done, please, boys and girls. I should see acquaintance. Come on, Marcus. Acquaintance. Sound it out as you write, and then hold it up when you're done writing. Great job, Alexander and Alina. Marcus, can I see your pencil? Are you ready to write? Perfect. Okay, let's write acquaintance. Okay, still waiting for some others, but it looks like we're mainly done. Syllable break. Syllable break. Silent final E. Acquaintance. Excellent job, Ariansh. Yeah, so this is exactly like the word from yesterday. We'll go ahead and quickly go over the markings here since this is the same as yesterday. How would we mark the last syllable? Alina?
I'm thinking cap on the A and underline the 2, I see, and put 2 on top and double underline the E, drop the E.
Perfect. Alina, you are an expert marker.
Yeah, I kind of learned a few stuff in kindergarten and first grade for markings.
Yes, definitely. Okay, this is a noun. Acquaint is a verb. Acquaintance is a noun. Okay, next word for today is eliminate. Who knows what this word means? Eliminate. Sahanasri, what does it mean?
It means like take them off of the team.
Oh, yeah, it might be to take someone off a team. Like maybe you're playing a game
Yeah.
and like a dodgeball. And if you get hit by that dodgeball, you're eliminated, at least for then. Oh, it could mean dying, Tig. What else could it mean, Arianch? Or how else would you describe it?
Or it's just you doing something wrong in a game and get sent off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you might be eliminated in a game because like fouling out or just doing something wrong. You also can, like in a test or quiz, eliminate answers. That means like cross out the ones that you know are wrong. So basically eliminate means to take out, to just push far from you. Eliminate. Let's sound it out. Eliminate. 4 syllables. First one is E in an open syllable, saying its name. Next is elim. That's basic code. Next is also basic code. Elimin. Finally, 8. With the silent finally, job 1, making A say its name. Okay, pretty simple. Eliminate. Pick up your pencil and write it, please. Yes, Alexander? Okay, Marcus, this is writing time. Can you show me your pencil? Eliminate is the word.
So I've gotten eliminate before, like when I went to this camp at like church, like every night. So we would do a special game, and that night we were actually doing dodgeball. And like I got hit with the big ball in the head, and I got eliminated instead of the other person.
I know, dodgeball, it's brutal. So eliminate. Hold up your paper when you're done, please, boys and girls. And I would love for Harika to mark it for us once we're done. Eliminate. E, syllable break. O, syllable break. Syllable break. A, t, silent final E. Eliminate. Okay, I think I said Harika, right? Harika, would you mark the word for us?
Okay.
Do you underline the E?
That's right. It's in an open syllable saying its name.
And double underline the E.
Good, double underline the E.
I don't know which job it is.
It's job 1 making A say its name. So this is that vowel, consonant, vowel pattern we're going to underline. And that's actually all of the markings. Now, Harika, what part of speech do you think this is? Let me give it to you in a sentence.
Okay.
They were eliminated from the game for fighting. Uh-oh.
Noun.
It is a verb. It's the action of being crossed out. Now, if we want to make it a noun, we say elimination, right? Have you heard that one as well?
Yeah.
Okay, that is all for eliminate. Let's move on to the next one. This is possibly a new word for some of you. Oh yeah, football and rugby are quite brutal. I agree, Tig. Okay, now our next word is endeavor. Would you all say endeavor? An endeavor is like an attempt to do something or achieve a goal. Arianch, have you heard this before?
I've heard it in a video about President John F. Kennedy. I've heard
Oh,
him
okay.
say it. So an epic video had that.
Nice. So I don't
I
know
first
what
didn't even know
context you
what
might have said it, but let's actually relate it to history because we've been learning about all of these explorers, and there are a lot of endeavors throughout the course of the unit to find the Northwest Passage, or they have some endeavors to find El Dorado or the Fountain of Youth or gold, riches. All of these endeavors are attempts to find something. Very few of them end up finding what they're looking for, but the endeavor is their attempt to do it, to reach this goal. Okay, so that's an endeavor. Tig's acting out an endeavor. He's really showing some action there. Endeavor. Let's sound it out. Endeavor. 3 syllables, but we think to spell endeavor. That final syllable is unstressed, but it's the or phonogram. Endeavor. Okay, first syllable is n. 2 sounds. Basic code. Next syllable, v. 3 sounds. Now this is a little bit odd, but we have a in that syllable. We're going to use e-a for the sound. And finally, it's the or phonogram. So endeavor. The main thing to keep in mind is e-a in syllable 2. Pick up your pencil and write endeavor. But we think to spell endeavor. It might help you even to think of it as endeavor. You can think of it that way if it helps. Remember that E-A. Show me your word when you're done, please, boys and girls. Endeavor. Oh, great job, Tig and Alina. I see you've remembered that E-A phonogram. Great job, Arshav, Sahanasri, and Josiah. Marcus, are you writing? Let me see your pencil. We're writing endeavor. Great job, Rishith. Okay, let's go over the correct spelling. N, syllable break. Syllable break. Oh, sorry. The v is part of the syllable. Syllable break. Or endeavor. Check that yours matches mine, and if you had any mistakes, please cross it out and rewrite it. Rishith, would you mark the word for us? So Rishith, the word looks like endeavor, but we say endeavor. So how do you think we mark it? The first syllable, we kind of say in instead of n. How do we mark that? Rishith, how would we mark it if it says an I sound instead of eh? I see Alina helping out over there. What are we going to do, Rishith? Rishith, what do we call this marking on top of our phonogram? I need you to make sure you're talking, not just chatting or like writing in the chat. I want you to actually speak up, okay?
Oh, he's speaking, but I don't hear him.
Are you talking, Rishith? Oh, yeah, it isn't working. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on. Rishith, after class today, can you ask your parents to help you out? Because you're unmuted and I still can't hear you. We need to fix that, okay? It's not a problem in reading groups. I wonder what's going on. Okay. So for endeavor, thinking cap on that at E. And what else? Arshab, can you finish it up for us?
Next, on the next syllable, you underline the E at A and
Perfect.
then put a 2 over it.
Great.
And then,
Okay. And
then for the OR, you put a thinking cap over it.
perfect. And we're going to underline it since it's two letters working together to make one sound. Okay, that is all for endeavor, which can be a verb or a noun. Our last word for today is another E word. We've got a theme. Our last one is enthusiasm. Show me enthusiasm. Like if your team wins in dodgeball, you might show some enthusiasm. Enthusiasm means excitement. Woo! Enthusiasm. And so this word is a noun. It's connected to the adjective enthusiastic. Comes from the same base. But this one is enthusiasm. Sound it out with me. Enthusiasm. Or sorry, enthusiasm. 4 syllables. It's that ending like organism with the SM together. So enthusiasm. Can you say that with me? Enthusiasm. First syllable, n, 2 sounds. Basic code. Next syllable, oo, enthusiasm. That's in an open syllable. Next syllable, we've got z, saying its second sound, enthusi, and ie in an open syllable. And last syllable is asm. It's another z, making its second sound. Similar to organism. Okay, please pick up your pencil and write enthusiasm. Enthusiasm. That last syllable is all together. Emma, can you unmute yourself and say the word? enthusiasm.
Enthusiasm.
You got it. Marcus, can you unmute yourself and say the word enthusiasm?
Enthusiasm.
Good. And that last
Like,
syllable is
I
all
need some
together.
enthusiasm in my day.
I think so. Okay, let's write enthusiasm. Syllable break. Syllable break. Syllable break. Enthusiasm. Would you like to mark it, Sampita? I also just remembered we had realism as a word recently, and that has a similar ending.
Yeah, I also want to mark it as well as in this book of Magic School Bus. Sorry, Magic Tree House. I get those mixed up. But in this book of Magic Tree House, and it says enthusiasm in this book.
Oh, nice. That's amazing that you were able to find that so quickly. Okay, so enthusiasm. How would we mark it?
Underline the.
Good. Also, I don't know if it's very clear, but we say enthusiasm. So how would we mark the first syllable?
Enthusiasm.
Enthusiasm.
Do we put a thinking cap or?
Good. That's right. And thinking cap on e. Now, says an oo sound. Enthusiasm.
Is it the fourth sound or?
Oh,
third sound.
Good. That's also kind of its nickname. So it a lot of times says that in an open syllable. Next, we've got a lot of markings so far. What about the third syllable?
Put number 2 on top of the z.
And
then underline the S.
we're going to put a 3 on top of IE as well. Enthusiasm. And then over here, we've got one marking for this Z. Do you know what it is?
Put a 2 on it.
You got it. This is a noun. Okay, let's write the words in cursive now.
Why I could find that really fast is because I've read that book almost 1,000,000 times.
Oh, okay. Is that your favorite Magic Treehouse book?
Well, not really favorite, but one of my favorites.
Okay, nice. Which one is it?
Oh, it's called Soccer on Sundays. What are the Merlin missions?
Oh, I have heard about the Merlin ones. Actually, my King Arthur reading group, we were talking a little bit about Merlin in the Magic Treehouse books a while ago.
Yeah, they go into the time of Pele.
Okay, here's each of the words in cursive. Write all 4 of those in cursive, please. And then we're also going to do a little bit of our poem in cursive for some extra practice. Alina?
Well, I just want to say a quick sentence. I have so much enthusiasm.
You definitely do have a lot of enthusiasm.
Okay.
Okay, once you're done with that, we're going to read or write the first stanza of our poem, The Hayloft. So we'll do this. Through all the pleasant meadowside, that's our first line. Through all the pleasant meadowside, the grass grew shoulder high. Till, got a lot of practice of the capital T. Till the shining sides side uses the two-letter phonogram. Went far and wide. I'm out of space, so I'm going to finish it here. And cut it down to dry. There's our first stanza.
Miss Gardner, you write fast.
I know. You know, I've written in cursive so much longer than all of you. Is it hard to follow along if I'm writing fast? Or is it okay because you can just look at the words when you're done?
Sometimes
I can't really see the words on the screen.
Okay. I'll try to slow down in the future. Let me zoom in a little bit more.
Actually, sometimes whenever you go really fast and I'm starting, I sometimes don't have the time to finish it.
Oh, I'll give you extra time. I just go ahead and write it all, and then you can look off of this for help. Through all the pleasant meadowside. Is that better? Or this side? The grass grew shoulder high, till the shining sides went far and wide, and cut it down to dry. If it is more helpful for me to go slower, I'll do that in the future. But it's also fine for you all to just see my line.
To like
This side or this side?
that side.
Okay. Is that good? Okay. Let me zoom out a little bit. Marcus, can I see that you're writing? Through all the pleasant meadowside, the grass grew shoulder high, till the shining sides went far and wide, and cut it down to dry. Deekshita, it doesn't look like you're writing either. Sweetie, do you have your pencil?
I'm done writing.
Oh, excellent. Great job, Alexander.
Miss Gardner, could you present the poem?
You know what? I want you to try your best to do it along with me. It's good to have practice of reading cursive as well as writing cursive. But let me go through each of the words. Can you follow along with me?
Sure.
Through all the pleasant meadowside, the grass grew shoulder high,
Can you stop there
till
for a second?
the shining sides went far and wide, and cut it down to dry. So those are each of the words. Yes, Alina?
I think it's kind of good that you write fast because like it kind of like helps us like practice like writing a little bit faster.
That's a good point too. Yeah. But I know that cursive is new for you guys still, so I'll do it a little bit more slow in the future. But it's totally fine for me to be ahead of you, and then I just stop and you follow along. Okay, boys and girls, you can do it. Persevere. By the time you're fourth graders, you'll do everything in cursive. So I do need you to make sure that you are persevering. Aryansh?
Comes after.
You can't unmute yourself without permission. That's a kind of a way of interrupting. Aryansh,
I finished my paragraph.
way to go.
And
Okay,
don't-
for an extra challenge, would you like to try the second stanza, Aryansh?
I don't even know a word in that, so that's what
That's
I'm
okay. I'll present it so that you can see it. Those green and sweetly smelling crops, they led the wagons home, and they piled them here in mountain tops for mountaineers to roam. Maybe you could try like a line or two of that one. That would be some good poetry practice and good handwriting practice. Okay, for those of you who are done, hold up your stanza so I can see it. Looks like Josiah finished. I know Aryansh finished already and Dikshita did. Oh, beautiful job, Aryansh. I'm going to pin your screen to see that. That looks really nice. Very nice, Kruthi. You have excellent penmanship too. I love to see that. Dikshita, sweetie, you can go on to the second stanza now. Okay, it looks like most of you are done. You will have some extra practice of this poem today. There is a video that you'll watch, and if you need to copy it down to finish copying it down later, I'll make sure that I have the poem posted in Bright Thinker as well, so that you can access it and read it anytime. Saha Nasri, were you excited because you just finished? I was seeing your enthusiasm. Okay. Now, I know some of you are not quite finished. You can finish it up a little bit later if so, but it looks like most of you are done. So, time for a nice little stretch break. Great writing today, boys and girls. We're going to transition over to some well-ordered language and roots. Oh, I know you love cursive. You are so good at it, Alina. Okay, boys and girls. So for well-ordered language and roots, you'll need your workbook and root cards. And I'm going to play that new conjunction song. We've been doing mainly the conjunction junction jingle, but I want us to do the actual well-ordered language conjunction song. Aryansh, did you finish the second stanza too? Or a couple of lines of it? Well done. Okay, let's play the new conjunction song as you take your things out. Can y'all hear it? It's a part of speech. It joins elements of the same rank or name. When two or more words are joined this way, they're called compounds. I'm going to present over it.
Is a part of speech. It joins elements of the same rank or name. When two or more words are joined this way, they're called compounds.
Can you all hear it better when I present over to that? Okay. Let's do that one again.
A conjunction is a part of speech. It joins elements of the same rank or name. When two or more words are joined this way, they're called compounds. A conjunction is a part of speech. It joins elements of the same rank or name. When two or more words are joined this way, they're called compounds.
So, what are some of the conjunctions? Who can tell me some of the conjunctions that we have been learning about? Emma?
Can I say a few or just one?
Yeah, you can say more than one.
And, or, but.
Good. Those are the most common ones that we'll see. And, or, and but. And actually, in your well-ordered language workbook, you're only going to see two of those, and or. Those are the only two conjunctions you need to memorize. Now, when two or more words are joined, they're called compounds. So, how did you all feel about the pages from yesterday? Let's open up to page 130. The ones you did yesterday for homework, first time doing it on your own. How did you all feel about finding compound subjects and conjunctions? I'm going to have us go over parts of the sentences just to check your work on the conjunctions and compound subjects, since that's what's new. For sentence A, I'll call on different people to go over what the compound subjects are, what the conjunction is, and we'll leave it at that. Deekshita, what are the compound subjects and conjunction for sentence A?
And
And is the conjunction, good. Okay, connection problems with Deekshita. What are the subjects here? Sahanasri, could you tell me what the compound subjects are for sentence A? And I hope everyone's on page 130. Can you all hold up your book so I can see that you're following on page 130? Oh, very good. Okay, so Sahanasri, what are the compound subjects?
Peggy and I.
Perfect. Peggy and I. By the way, with this one, there were 3 prepositional phrases. Did you guys catch that? I don't think we've ever had that many. We had on Tuesday with the family and to the library, 3 prepositional phrases. That is a lot. Okay, Harika, can you tell me what the compound subjects are in sentence B? And what's the conjunction? Harika, sweetie, would you unmute yourself?
Wait, what was the question again?
I said, what are the compound subjects and what's the conjunction?
Okay.
Can I see that you finished your work, sweetie? Harika, are you on page 130?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did you finish that yesterday?
No.
Okay. Harika, sometimes things happen, and I know you can't finish things when they're due, but you know that to-do list is for when you need to complete things.
Yeah,
So
actually.
if it says it's due yesterday, then you need to have it done yesterday. Okay, sweetie?
Okay.
You can't just wait a week, and that is not going to be the best way to learn. Do you understand that?
Mm-hmm.
You need to do it on the day that we're actually practicing it. That's when it's going to be easiest and when it makes the most sense to do it. Now, for sentence B, can you find the compound subjects?
And
Is a conjunction. Can you say conjunction?
conjunction.
Good. Now, what are the compound subjects? Two subjects.
Dad.
Good.
And you.
Very good. Okay, so Harika, you're going to finish those pages today, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Okay, we'll leave it at that. It looks like a lot of you are doing pretty well with those compound subjects, which should be on either side of the conjunction. So it might be easiest for you guys just to find that conjunction and then find your subjects around it. Did you all do it that way? Or Aryansh, did you find your subjects first?
I didn't do both ways. I just knew that they were subjects and that was a conjunction. And
Oh, so kind of at the same time.
And also that technique that you just said about trying to find the conjunction, that doesn't always work because in sentence D, dad is one subject, then and the comes in the middle before group, which is the next subject.
Very good point. In sentence D, and comes between dad and a little adjective before the subject. So use your brain and really think, the is definitely not a subject. It's an adjective. So there are times when it's not right in front of or right next to the conjunction. But that's going to give you a good starting point because the compound subjects are going to be on either side. But good point that there might be an adjective there. Okay, let's move on to page 132. We're going to do this page together, choosing which verb phrase is going to make the most sense. Could somebody read this section here, starting with remember? Josiah, would you read that for us?
Is joined by a word, or it can be
By the word or.
by the word, or it can be either singular or plural. The subject, depending on the subject, is closer to the verb. The verb must agree in the number which is closer subject.
Thank you. So when it says or, it's meaning one or the other. So if it's Winston, you would say is playing. If it's the boys, you would say are playing. So you just stick with whatever is closest to the verb. So in this case, the neighbors or Grandpa Fred, that's the one that's closer. So would you say Grandpa Fred drives or Grandpa Fred drive? Which verb would agree with the last subject? Josiah?
Drives.
Good. And I would recommend underlining the subject that's closer to the verb, okay? Rishith, can you unmute yourself? Let me see if this will work now. Can you say something? I'm sorry, Rishit, that's still not working. Okay, Marcus, can you unmute yourself?
Okay.
So we've got number 2, Lucy or Theo. Would we say is coming or are coming to the movies with us too?
Are coming.
So if it was and, we would say are coming because it's both of them. But instead, it's just one. Lucy or Theo. So would we say Theo is coming or Theo are coming?
Oh, is coming.
Yeah, very good. So it all depends on the conjunction. In this case, we've got the conjunction or, which means it's just one of them. Ty, can you do sentence 3 for us?
Okay. Sentence 3. Usually, Fritz or the other boys sit in the back seat.
So which one is correct?
Sit.
Good. Why do you say sit?
Because sits wouldn't make sense because usually Fritz or the other boys sits in the back seat. Sits is only for one person.
That's right. We would use sits for one person, but we're going to use sit since it goes with boys, which is the subject closest to the verb. Okay, so boys and girls, remember that you're going to stick with just one of the subjects. The one that's closest to the verb is what you want to agree with the verb, okay? That's all we're going to do for well-ordered language in class. The rest of these you're going to do for homework, along with analyzing some sentences with compound subjects. Aryansh looks like he got a head start. He's going to have less homework to do. Great job. Okay, boys and girls, time for roots, and then we'll do some orthography notebook. Can you all take out a couple of root cards? We're going to do basically 2 weeks worth of, or we'll spend 2 weeks on 1 week's worth of roots because we're doing a little bit this week and a little bit next week since next week is kind of a short week. Remember that Monday and Tuesday you have MAP testing or ACT Aspire testing. On those days, by the way, you will come into school, to the school building. You will take your test. It's about 4 hours total. And then you're not going to have anything else to do for homework those days. You don't have a single assignment on Bright Thinker on Monday and Tuesday. Okay? That's your whole school day, those hours that you come into school. Okay? Aryansh?
So will we have to wear a mask?
Yes, you do need to wear a mask when you come to school and even during the test. I just heard from Mr. Kortoff. But you can definitely, like I've got one here, you can definitely kind of let it down for a moment if you need to breathe and then put it back up.
Because on April 1st, you don't have to wear a mask anymore when you go into places.
You're right.
I mean, and mostly in school, when you go to school, you don't have to wear a mask anymore.
Okay, so very good point. The state of Arkansas is changing. However, it's still going to be the rule that when you come in for testing, you do have to wear a mask. And everybody's going to do it a little differently. So our school has just decided that you still need to wear a mask. Okay, we'll get to other testing questions in a little bit because I'd like to even show you a practice test today. But first, let's do a couple of root cards. Now, our root for this week and next week is a word called Kapoot. Can you say Kapoot? It's a fun one to say, I think. Kapoot means head. Is that weird? Does that surprise you? Here's your Kapoot. Kapoot. Or capitis. Kapoot is your head. Maybe some of you have heard of the phrase kapoot, like off with his head, kapoot. Have any of you heard that phrasing before? Ariane, you have? Alexander?
No, but I've heard the game Kahoot.
Oh, it sounds like Kahoot, yeah, but it's Kapoot.
Quick thing, I'm very low on root cards.
Oh, okay, that might need to be something to get from the store soon. Okay, so here's Kapoot. Capitis, plural. This is a Latin word, so we can outline it with red.
Miss Gardner, when are we going to have a Greek?
Sweetie, make sure you don't unmute without permission. We will be focusing primarily on Latin from now on. Some of that is because we did Roman history, but also it just is the way the book is laid out. Marcus, come on. Lift up your Kapoot. Don't hit yourself in the Kapoot. Just lift up your Kapoot. Your Kapoot is your head. Okay, the only one that we're going to write for a derivative today is Kapoot, the phrase, and we're going to put it in quotation marks since it's a phrase. It's a phrase that means off with his head. Kapoot. Sometimes people use this phrase to mean someone just dies too. Kapoot. They're a goner. Off with his head. We've had a lot of brutal words and phrases throughout the class today. Oh, yes, Ty, you do have a beautiful Kapoot. Off with his head is what the phrase Kapoot means. Okay, show me your two cards when you're done. Kapoot and the other Kapoot. That is a good point. I think we need an exclamation point like Samhita did. Because it's only used in exciting or exclamatory ways. Off with his head, Kapoot. So we're going to see a lot of words that have to do with like it being on top, not necessarily an actual head, but the top of something. So those are our two cards, Kapoot, capitis, and Kapoot, the phrase, off with his head. Okay, that's all for today. We'll do more tomorrow. At this time, let's take out orthography notebooks. We're going to write down today's words and write a little bit in the quotation page to go along with what you did in reading yesterday. But right now, let's just do page 90, or sorry, page 60. 91 is our lesson. Can you all show me your orthography notebook when you are done? You guys are persevering so well today. Been a full class, You guys are doing so great. Last part of our literacy time right here. Marcus, do you have your orthography notebook? And once again, we're turning to page 60. Okay, the first word for today goes along with the word acquaint. Acquaintance. Next was eliminate. Next was endeavor. And enthusiasm. Those are all the words for today. Okay, show me your words when you're done with lesson 91. And then we'll move on to the punctuation page to do a little bit on punctuation. If you're not writing, please hold up your paper. Because you should be done if you're not writing. Marcus, it looks like you are relaxing over there. You cannot do that, bud. When it is writing time, for me, it also means it's writing time for you. Show me your pencil, please. Very good. Can I see your orthography notebook? Perfect. Page 60. What do you think, Alexander? Could you live without a Kapoot? Nope. Great job, Rishith. Marcus, can you write acquaintance, eliminate, endeavor, and enthusiasm? Great job, Dichita. We are going to flip over to page 32 when you're done. That's exactly right. Marcus, it looks like you did not finish in time. So can you do that after class, please? You've got the words in your binder, so you need to write them in your orthography notebook later. 11 months without a head tag? Oh my goodness. Yeah, chickens are unique in that. They can live without a Kapoot for a little while. Okay. Page 32, let's write some examples of punctuation. We've talked about this in reading yesterday. Different rules for commas and other punctuation. You should have 3 lines filled up so far. Do you have the 3 rules? Page 32. Now, direct quotations must be separated from who spoke by a comma. We saw this in yesterday's reading. But let's do an example from poetry. If we were to say the Father William poem, "You are old, comma, Father William." We actually need a comma before Father William because we're speaking to Father William. And we need a comma after it to separate the person speaking. Who is speaking in this one? Alexander, you are old, Father William.
The young man said.
That's right. The young man said. And your hair has become very white. Let's add that part. So we have quotations around the actual words. You are old, Father William, and your hair has become very white. And then commas separate the person speaking. Okay. And that's the only one we're going to write about today, actually. We'll fill in the rest soon. But quotation marks around you are old, comma, Father William, comma, and then quotation marks. We need a comma to separate what the words are from the person saying them. And then another comma before the next line of quotations. Okay, so that's all, just number 4. Can I see number 4 once you're done writing it? Very good. You are old, Father William, the young man said. Alexander, did you do quotation marks? Okay, add your quotation marks. We definitely want to focus on the commas to separate the quote from the person speaking, but we also need the quotation marks around the exact words spoken. Nice job. Okay, that's all. We are going to transition over to math next. You guys have been working so hard. Feel free to take a drink of water, step up, get your eyes off the computer for a moment. I know we've kind of squeezed a lot in today already. Okay. Boys and girls, we wrote our chart for liquid capacity yesterday. So you actually will not need to do, let me double check this. No notes today, no notes. So yeah, you can show some enthusiasm for that. No math notes today. We are going to just do some practice together from my textbook here. And then I'll go over what you'll expect or what you'll have on your homework pages. And if time, I'd like to go over what you might see on the Math ACT Aspire test. How many of you have already looked at some of those practice tests? Okay. If you haven't, it's okay. You can come in on Monday without doing any of the practice assignments and it's fine. But it could be helpful for you to just get an understanding of how to answer the questions because that's an opportunity where you can be asking your parents for help. But next week, there's not going to be much help. I'll be able to come around and help you somewhat, but I can't help you with like what the question is asking and how to do it. But for the practice one this week, you can ask your parents for help with it. Okay, so no need to take your notebook out. All you've got to do Let's follow along on the screen. Let's do some practice of liquid measurements. Who can tell me how many cups are in 1 pint? Guys, show me with your fingers. How many cups are in 1 pint? 2, that's right. How many pints are in 1 quart? 2 pints in a quart. How many quarts are in a gallon? 4, that's right. Remember our big G? We have big G with 4 Q's for the quarts inside it. Big G with the Q's and 2 little P's inside. And then 2 teeny tiny C's. They're so cute, aren't they? Those little cups. Teeny tiny cups. So there are 2 cups in a pint, 2 pints in a quart, 4 quarts in a gallon. I wanted to clarify something that we talked briefly about yesterday. Ounces. I was saying that, we're not going to we won't measure in ounces, but that's just because of our workbook not getting into what we would call fluid ounces. So for those of you who have water bottles and different ways of measuring, and it talks about how many ounces something is, you can actually use ounces for how much something weighs, but also how much liquid there is, what we call fluid ounces. We're just not going to get into that with the book, but there's 16 fluid ounces in a pint, just like there's 16 ounces in a pound. So that 16 is the conversion, just like with other ounces. Okay, so that's all. I just wanted to go over that with you. Alexander?
So like, is that it, or are we gonna do some practice on our whiteboards? And
we are going to be asking questions from the textbook here. Yesterday's workbook pages, I think, focused on cups and pints. We're going to look today at quarts and gallons. And I'll let you know if you need to get your whiteboard out. It should be handy right next to you. So we've got 4 quarts in 1 gallon. And if there are 2 pints in a quart, how many pints in a gallon are there? You show me with your fingers. If there are 4 quarts in 1 gallon and 2 pints are in 1 quart, how many pints are in a gallon? Josiah?
Eight.
Good, 8. And as this little girl's thinking through, there's also 16 cups in 1 gallon. And we can use multiplication to figure all of this out. See, he's thinking 1 pint equals 2 cups. A gallon is 8 pints. And if I want to find cups, I just multiply it by 2 again, because there's 2 cups in a pint. So 1 gallon equals 16 cups. Okay. Here's a good way of thinking of the difference between each of these measurements. A gallon compares to a quart here. A quart is 1/4 of a gallon. Then a pint is half of that. And then a cup is half of that. And here's a little conversion chart. We don't need to add this because once you know how many cups are in a pint, pints in a quart, you don't need to write out all the rest. We can use multiplication to solve, for example, that 16 cups are in 1 gallon. Okay, now thinking through gallon, quart, pint, and cup. It says here, David and his, actually, we'll do this first. How much milk might you have for breakfast? Would you say it's about a gallon, a quart, a cup, or sorry, a pint or a cup? Now this is a quart, a gallon, think of like a gallon of milk, and then pint and cup. Emma, which one do you think it would be?
Wait, what was it called?
Would you say that you'd have a quart, cup, pint, or gallon of milk for breakfast?
Quart?
A quart is this amount, pretty big. I would say probably for most of you, it's like a cup. Maybe a pint. Aryansh?
For me, I have to drink milk instead of having milk with my cereals, and I think about like a quart of milk.
I never
Wow,
pour lots
okay.
of milk.
So
I have half a gallon of milk every single day because I drink milk 2 times.
I drink.
Okay.
Well, I put lots. I pour lots of milk in my cereal.
Okay, well, maybe, so I could be wrong. I was thinking of just drinking a cup of milk, but maybe some of you drink this much milk in a day. This is a quart of milk, several glasses. Maybe some of you drink a whole quart. Others might drink a pint. This is actually bigger than a pint. The pint line is right here. Maybe that much in one day. Or a cup. Now that would be about the size of like a juice glass. Maybe some of you have about a cup of orange juice, just like a small amount. Or if you ever have like chocolate milk, maybe it's that kind of smaller glass. That would be a cup. Which of those do you think we would use for a big can of paint? Like think about painting a whole room in a house. Would we use gallon, quart, pint, or cup? Which one of those? Alexander?
A gallon.
Yep, I would say a gallon of paint is those big paint cans. What about a medium-sized tomato juice container? Cup, pint, quart. Aryansh?
I think again it's a quart because it's the size of a quart, but it might be just a pint.
Yeah, there are some big tomato cans. Maybe some of you have seen those big ones that are probably close to a quart, but think of a typical size of like a canned good. It's probably about a pint, right about a pint.
My mom has
Those
about
are
30
confusing ones.
gallons of tomatoes.
Oh my goodness.
30 gallons is a lot.
Okay. For the next section, I'll have you take out your whiteboard and write down answers. And I know this one, it's kind of varied. Some people drink just a little bit of milk in the morning. Some people drink a lot. So there's not like one right answer for a lot of these, but take out your whiteboard and we'll go over about how much these things are. Okay, so whiteboard and marker is what you need for now. Ty, do you have some ramen noodles there? That looks tasty. Okay.
It's so good.
Okay, first question down here says David and his 7 friends drink a gallon of milk each day. How many cups is this? Meaning how many cups are in a gallon? Write down your answer on your whiteboard and hold it up. If you want to use your chart or big G to help you, you can. But tell me, how many cups are in 1 gallon? Write it on your whiteboard and then hold it up. Good, 16 cups. Great job. That's how many cups are in 1 gallon. Next question. There are 6 quarts of tomato juice in the refrigerator. Suki needs 1 gallon of tomato juice for her recipe. Wow, she must be making something for a big crowd. Does she have enough? Is 6 quarts bigger than 1 gallon? Yes or no? Just write yes or no on your whiteboard. Is 6 quarts enough for the recipe if she needs a gallon? Yes. How many quarts are in 1 gallon? 4. So if she has 6 quarts, then that's more than enough. This one says a recipe calls for 2 quarts of coconut milk. How many times must a 1 cup measuring cup be filled to equal 2 quarts? How many cups are in 2 quarts? Write down your answer on your whiteboard. Remember, there's 2 cups in 1 pint, 2 pints in a quart, and we're looking for 2 quarts. I see about half of you wrote 8, the other half of you wrote 4. Great job. If you wrote 8, that's correct. Because it's 2 cups in a pint, 2 pints in a quart, and it's 2 quarts, so double that. 8. Next says, John has 2 containers. The red container can hold 12 cups of water. The yellow container can hold 9 pints of water. What's the difference in the capacity of the 2 containers in pints? To do this, tell me how many cups of water it is in a pint. I think we might need to do this one together. So 12 cups is equal to how many pints? Alexander?
6.
Good. We cut it in half or divide it.
Yep.
12 cups equals 6 pints. Now, the yellow container can hold 9 pints of water. And we're trying to find the difference. So what do we do to find the difference between 9 pints and the 6 pints? Arshad?
There's a 3-number difference.
The difference is 3 pints. That's right. Okay, so we use multiplication and division to solve these. Notice that if we're going from a smaller measuring to a larger way of measuring, then we're going to divide to get to that number. 12 cups is the same as 6 pints. We use division to figure out how much is in a bigger way of measuring. All right, next up, keep your whiteboard out for a little bit longer. Next up, it says, what is the capacity of this container in pints? We've got some kind of easier questions here. Write it down on your whiteboard. What's the capacity of the container, this container in pints, if it totally fills up? Write it on your whiteboard and then hold it up when you're done. That's right, 4 pints. Good job. Now, what's the capacity in cups? If it's 4 pints, what is that in cups? Do you remember how many cups are in a pint? That's right, 2. So if that's the case, how many cups is it? Think of it like this. Each of these is 2. 2 cups. Eight cups is correct. Great job. Here's one with estimation. We've got 1, 2, 3 cups and a half. So are we going to round up or down? Round up. So about how much does this container hold? About how many cups? Good. 4 cups. It's about 4. We're going to round up if we're halfway. Okay. Choose the best estimate for these. And I'll just have people unmute to share. Would you say that the best estimate is 15 pints of paint or 15 gallons of paint for painting a whole house? Actually, write pints or gallons on your whiteboard. Pints or gallons? Good, gallon. For painting a whole house, we would use gallons of paint. What about the next one? How much milk might a baby eat each day? 5 cups or 5 quarts? A baby. Ariansh would know the answer to this one. Go ahead, Ariansh. You can unmute yourself to share. How much milk do you think your brother eats a day?
Well, he eats about like, I don't know, like 30 ounces.
Oh, okay.
Or something. I mean, now he doesn't drink that much milk. He mostly eats like crushed up broccoli or a carrot. And it's obvious for everyone how much would a baby eat? For 5 quarts, or 5 cups. It's pretty simple.
5 quarts is more than a gallon. Could a baby drink more than a gallon of milk a day?
First,
no. Oh my goodness, the baby would burst. Arshab?
You said how much milk could a baby could eat, not drink.
Well, usually people say eat for milk for a baby, like when they're, because it's not just like a normal liquid. It's got all of the nutrients, and so like I don't know why that's like an unusual thing, but for babies, like nursing, it's called eating basically when they're having their milk. Okay, next up, 45 pints of water or 45 gallons of water in a pool. Which one? Pints or gallons? How much would fill a pool? Yeah, 45 gallons. And finally, which one do you think would fill a bathtub? 4 gallons of water or 20 gallons of water? For this one, it's the number. Would it be 4 or 20 gallons, do you think, in a bathtub? I see a few different answers. I think this is going to totally depend on what you're picturing. Like a young kid, like a toddler, might have just a small amount of like 4 gallons at the bottom of a tub. But if it's like a full bathtub, it would be like 20 gallons if it's like a full tub. Okay, that is all for your math today. Your workbook pages for today are going to have some questions just like that as we are practicing larger liquid capacities. You're going to be matching up pictures with how many cups it's equal to, for one. So some of these are going to be a full gallon or quart or pint. Match it up with cups. These are all one little cup. Oh, and I forgot that you guys had a bathtub question kind of like that, with how many gallons would fit in the bathtub from yesterday. And then on the back, you cross out the one that does not have the same capacity. You're going to eliminate which picture is not like the others. Okay. So we won't do any ACT Aspire prep for today. We may do that later, but that is all for class today. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your afternoon. And at this time, I'll have just my reading group stay with me, unless we've got any questions. Yes, Alina? Bye, Ariane.
About the AST Aspire test, will this be Miss Campbell's class?
They'll be in a different part of the building, but yes.
Oh, in a different part, okay.
Bye, Miss
Yeah, but you'll be dropped off and picked up at the same time.
Okay.
Bye,
And also, do you bring your own Chromebook?
If you have a Chromebook from the school, you need to bring it.
Okay, then that's mine.
Okay. Bye, Alina.
Bye.
Yes, Alexander?
Bye, Miss Garner.
Just a question.
Bye, Dikshita.
Do you bring lunches to the school? Because it's going to be during lunch. Or...
That's a great question. You'll be picked up a little before noon, and so you'll just do lunch at home.
Okay.
But you can bring a snack.
So do we go there at like the normal time people go to school, 8?
Yeah, so it's from 8 to a little before 12. So you'll eat breakfast before you come, and you'll have lunch when you get back home, and then you'll have a little bit of a break for a snack in the test.
And will we see the 11:30 class?
Yeah, we're all going to be in the same room.
Yay! I get to meet the 11:30.
Yeah, you'll enjoy meeting them, I think.
I've already met
And
them.
then, yeah, Hariko is in class with them at the beginning of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
Okay. Hi, Emma.
I'm excited for Friday because I get to open one of my toys that my dad got me yesterday.
Oh.
Whenever I'm happy, my stomach hurts. So.
Okay, I need to send an invite to Marcus. I don't know why I guess he forgot that he had reading group today.
Bye, Miss Gardner.
Hi, sweetie. Okay, time for Wind in the Willows. Do you guys remember what happened last time we read? Josiah?
Toad got arrested.
Yeah, he got arrested. He was in a car accident, right?
He stole a motor car.
Oh my goodness, he's crazy. He has no self-control when it comes to cars. Oh, I need to stop recording.